Welcome back, people, to Wahines Up TV, where we're back finally with the club rooms. I had the week off, for those that know, just busy with schoolwork, assignments, mahi. So appreciate to all the members. Unfortunately, we couldn't do a show last week, but we are back and pushing hard into 2 more rounds of NRL footy, and a lot to break down tonight, especially after a win against the Titanics, the Titans, who did sink, and I think they've already sunk to the bottom there. They're 17th, but we'll break that down very shortly. Just want to welcome in everyone that is in the house. Only 2 in the house at the moment. Shout out to Carl and T Mackie, as always, constant members. Appreciate that. If you are wanting to join the chat, this is a members only show. So if you want to become a member, you click the join button. And there are options there for reserve grade or first grader, depending on what your preference is, and that allows you to join the chat tonight. But we'll welcome anyone that's watching. We appreciate you, and I know that you'll be excited from you. If you are here and you got a split second, can you just hit that like button and the subscribe button? I think we are 35 away from 3K people. So if you will, please hit that. If we get to 3K by tonight or tomorrow or whenever we do, I will give out some free memberships as well. So I'll monitor that. But a 3 months worth of memberships to Wahines Up TV, so you can enjoy and join in the chat on these evenings like this. So welcome in everybody in the chat. I'm going to do a little spiel first, gather my thoughts. Then I'll hit the chat quickly. So let me just give me about 4 or 5 minutes just to get off my thoughts on that game. Firstly, I think, are we a dry track team? I just thought it's the first time I've seen the team really play with a bit of speed, intent. Play the balls was super quick. Might be the fastest I've seen in a little while. Are we a dry track team? I think we might be, people. I think I've been playing in this wet weather footy, even at Mount Smart. We don't quite play the same tempo. Not just considering the effort or the poor performance from the Titans, but I feel we might be a dry track team. But it was good to see the roll on that we were getting. Fish was getting big meters. Egan was leading everyone around the park. So it was nice to see us play at full tilt, full capacity. But that was really, really cool. I'm going to start firstly with the middles, specifically Tennisdale Smith. He started at front row with Fisher Harris, and I liked a lot of his work. I think my opinion is that he might be the best we have to start front row with Fish until Ford comes back. And maybe we might be asking questions, is he a better fit over Ford? I liked his line speed. I like his work at A and B defenders, pushing up in the line. I love his carries. They're a little bit faster, a little bit more roll on, not as slow as a Jackson Ford. But I like his intent. I love that Webby didn't push him, You know, he's not as big a minutes player as a Jacko Ford, but the amount that we got from him was good. Now that was up against a Titans team it wasn't too great on the night, so maybe up against a better pack would he struggle. But for what it is, I do like him as a starter. Now, if you compare his numbers to Jacko's just blows him out of the water based on numbers, based on yardage, everything. Jacko has more errors, obviously, because he's playing more minutes, and but if you were to do rotations on a sort of like 20-25 minute basis without playing Jacko 60 off the bat, he might be the best starter since outside of Barnett. Like he's in the Bunty for 2023 range. That's kind of how I see him. So take that as you will, but that's something that just to be mindful of. I imagine Ford will come in because Webby trusts him, but I like that rotation a little bit better. Let me just hit the chat quickly because it's building up, and I want to do my spiel, but I'll hit the questions quickly. Tanner taking on the line in the second half against the Dragons and this game against the Titans. Problem. Yeah, we'll get into that for sure. We've played well in the wet this year, Magic Round versus the Cows. Okay, so Sonyan's not agreeing with me, probably saying we just either play better or we play a poor Titans team. That's a good argument there. Probably. TSS reminds me of a bigger Jazz Tavanga. Oh, that's a good little comparison there. Eddie reminds me of a young Simon Mannering. Oof. Taylor looks a bit quicker. Yeah, we'll talk more about that over the night. Gotta get to Eddie right now. His output was massive. I thought the timing of when he came on, his overall numbers look great. He got that try. I thought that was great for him to get a rookie try for this season. Did a lot of hard work. His carries through the middle, he actually grew into his carries a lot more. Defensive work sound as well. Does he hold that spot till Laban, or do you ride him out for the rest of the way? Maybe say, Laban, mate, you sit this one out for the rest of the year. Eddie's going to ride this one through the finals. An argument, maybe. Of course, you got Jackson Ford, maybe that pushes him out. So you don't know. But for this, what he's doing right now, I reckon play him these last two games, give him maximum opportunity for growth. I really like what I'm seeing from him. But good meters, defensive efforts. I liked his movement. He's a good sized body as well. Hard to put down. So Eddie, Mr. Institute of Technology, EIT, Eastern Institute of Technology. He's got that kind of AUT, MIT sound to his acronym. But he's very, very good. Mr. CNK. I kind of get him. I kind of understand when you see CNK at the back and what he brings. He's the hype man. He's the hype man at a party. You know, when you're in the party and you're on the dance floor and then the energy kind of drops. CNK is that guy that comes in and he just lifts the vibe of the party again, gets everyone up on the dance floor or wherever, just gets the party, the vibe going in. He brings those energy to the sets, and I see why he does those double carries in a set. He's probably just trying to keep that tempo of that set going. And if you combine it with an Egan and someone that can manipulate the ruck, you start to see why he is that fullback. He gets that momentum going, which allows Roger to run onto the ball, allows Dallin to run onto the ball, which gives you a bit more directness as opposed to a Tane. I thought the goal line still attack isn't the greatest, but for that and his defensive work. One other thing I noticed from CNK, on a goal line defensive set, he will push in at a defender, and by doing that, he'll push like an Aaron Clark or whoever's there in B, he'll push them up the line. So he's very important in terms of getting them the line speed up on a goal line set. So he plays quite a pivotal role in many senses. I'm starting to notice different from Tane. So that's a little thing just to keep in mind with CNK, but he looked really good. Let's get to the chat. EIT didn't look out place. Yep. Goal kicking was fantastic. Best part, Dom saying that Best back he's seen. Excuse the coughing, guys. I'm still sick. I'll try my best to avoid, but a little bit under the weather. But haven't been speaking a lot, so. But I'll do my best. Saw Labour at Trust Stadium for the New South Wales. He was still hobbling around. Hey, yeah, maybe that's a thing to be mindful of. Rocco's kick chase stood out for me whenever a kick went up. Yeah, we're gonna get to that as well. Hosea, welcome in, my man. I'll get to that very soon. Middles dominated and halves built off the platform. Yeah, I looked at it. Kind of did two watchings. I did watching of us, and then I pretended I was a Titans fan and I was watching them. I think they struggled to deal with us in all senses. Virals, Campbell Gillard, their middles, we just came with too much energy. I think that might be we just had a relentlessness. I don't know what it was, whether this has just been building to it or Webby had a massive talk to them, but everyone in that forward pack, the whole team, to be honest, just got their assignments done, man. Yardage through the middle, Fish, you could start to see he was getting on his fronts. Aaron Clark with some massive runs through the middle. Then all the defensive efforts around it, we dominated. And then what I love about it, you get to Tanner Boyd and that, but Tanner built off of that. Tanner built his kicking game off of that. It was one amazing kick I love from Tanner. I think it was around 35, 40 meter mark. He took it on the right side, then he kicked it back in behind on the left-hand side for De Groot, I think it was, and got him running. CHT kicked on the second, I think it was, and turned Brimson around. There was clear intent and energy around the kicking game in a different way, which I really loved. Tanner went at the line, took the ball, took a few carries. You got to be a running half. And I had a chat with Josh Gage about that on Friday, is that maybe that was the concern, was that he hasn't been running the ball enough. And maybe that's why we dropped him. If that's true, well, we're seeing benefits. You saw that from the Dragons game. He was up on the line a lot more. Saw him here. He did a little bit of a Benji Marshall in 3 right footsteps. I was like, go boy, take on the line, take a hit, take a licking. You have to do that as a half to square those edge defenders up. Then CHT on the balance of that had a great game as well. They both really worked well. The other thing was CHT nailed his defensive assignments. His job pretty much, I felt, was just to jam in on what's his name? Campbell. And he nailed it each time. Jammed Campbell at the right times, jammed Brimson. So credit to CHT as well. That was a really, really good one. I get the chat. Does it look like we're finally on the right track? I'm not sure yet. Welcome in, Jazzy. How's everyone doing? Yeah, we'll get some fixing. Because when you're sick, you can't talk for too long before another, dry cough comes up. So I'll do my best. Yeah, well, so yep, you guys called it. I don't have to look at the chat. You guys are already talking about it. So yeah, you guys are seeing the same things as me. Yeah, I try not to watch it on commentary as well. They were disappointing, but Fish more than made up for it after that first little stint. We played with a mean streak. We were really up for it. Best game together. I agree. Really, really good. Lecky, my man. Time to prove we deserve top 4 spot. Just wants us to compete with. Yeah, that's all I've been asking for too. Just compete. Just compete. Chris, my man. Killed everyone. Yeah, we're rolling on the forwards. Great to see the way we scored on the edges. Forwards laid the platform. I don't think second half times adjusted. Yeah. Very good points. Everyone's got a good point. And that was the Titans team that was the 17th Titans right there. That was the Titanics for me. Okay, the TMM. Oh, sorry. These are my notes. So I don't know why I'm bringing them up. TMM. I'd argue that TMM is the right fit for 14. Okay, so this is my view of it. He looked really good, TMM, on the other night. He's actually got a good, decent pass out of dummy half too. Not like the greatest. But if you look at his targets, when he hits 2 wide or 3 wide, they're pretty much on the ball. So it means that as long as the forwards are getting momentum, he's hitting them on the flush, on the chest, getting them over the advantage line. What I love more so is that, for me, I'll probably argue, and that might be biased, but I think his service right now out of dummy half is better than Healy's. Service wise, just passing the ball out of the ruck. That's all I'm talking about right now. Healy's got him for ruck manipulation, running game, all that. What he brings to you is he can give you a third half on the field option. There's one part where play broke down, came back to him, he put a grubber back in behind for a repeat set. Fantastic. Then he kind of coordinated the EIT try, which was great as well. Now, the reason why this is good is only if Egan isn't injured. So technically, you could probably say if Egan didn't get injured in the Titans game at home, that might have what the plan had been to have TMM come on in the 50th, 60th minute. He's not going to be a long minutes hooker. He's not going to be a hooker that can generate some ruck speed when the forwards aren't going. He has no ruck manipulation as a, but he can give you some of that option as a half or as another option. He can read the game kind of from the hooking position enough from a developing, get this right, a developing Sam Healy. Sam's going to obviously down that hooker, but this is enough because he gives you that cover in the edges, gives you cover in the halves, gives you cover at fullback. That's what I'm seeing now. But the key here is Egan. But you saw Egan only play 50, I think, which is great. When you're up on top, you can take Egan off a bit earlier, and that's where you can use it to mighty like that. Cool to see. Okay, let me hit the chat. Okay. Yep. We got Tans. Good to see you. Yeah, the energy. Really like the energy. Besides, Egan team member is the only player who can organize everybody. Yeah. Well, that's it. He got that try for EIT, knew what the purpose of it. Actually, it was a pass before to Lecker where he got Lecker through the hole, showed for out the back, and then short ball, and that generated the next play. So that's why I'm thinking right now he's probably the most in tune with what the system's asking and provided that. Pick up my man, Nick. Yeah, good officially to lock in our front. Yeah, it is. Massive achievement for the boys, regardless of what happens from here now to build in some of the. Yeah, we just got to build. Tony, you're too kind, my friend. Very much. You're a kind man. Thank you so much, Tony. I really do appreciate this. It was funny seeing TMMs getting the ops hard while wasting. Yeah, I mean, just got an eye for it. Seeing things, talking, communicating. Don't listen to those comments. Yeah. Yep. Very good point, Sunyoung. Hope you're well, brother. Where you are over in Chicago, Chi-Town. That's a really good point. I thought Liquor just doing enough there as well. That's perfect. That one run that led us to the EIT try is what you need from him right now. If he's burnt out, play him those minutes. Yeah, he's a student. He's got a natural feel for it too, and maybe he's coming into his role a bit better over time. RTS, bro. If you really break this guy's game down, he's so pivotal, man. He's been carrying a lot of this back five for a while. Great to see him get some tries as well, but I thought his defensive work, Pompey, was quite good too. But his yardage through the middle, man, he was just destroying and peppering with those middles, and we need every ounce of energy from him. I just thought he's been so massive this year. If there was a award for like veteran of the year, he might get it. Probably been our best winger by far. But I love what I saw from him, man. Really, really love what I saw from him. back five was much more effective. And again, it goes back into the hype man, C&K, getting the party started, keeping the energy up and the tempo. Dallin ran onto a lot of good. Dallin had a lot of good carries too, just running onto it. Barry got involved too. I'm going to get to Barry right now, actually. I think Barry, importance of him is, I think people mention the kick chase. Yeah, it's fantastic. He works really hard to get in line with the kick chase. But also if the kick's on the other side, he really squeezes in to make sure that they nail that first tackle inside the 10. So you'll see him screaming from the right side and he'll come in the frame quite late, but he usually assists with that first tackle too. So there's a lot of benefits to his work. Defensively, you can see him and Dallin just look a bit more solid, eh? I mean, they weren't overly tested. He makes even Tanner Boyd even more solid too. And yeah, I just think he adds a lot of value. And you're starting to see it. If we have just, I think in this system, if you can have two defensively sound centers, you can get by. As for a strike center, I don't think he's a strike center. I don't rate his run styles. I don't rate him in his one-on-ones. I don't rate him in his yardage carries. But again, like I'm saying, for this system, as a defensive out-and-out center, he does a wonderful job. Wonderful job. Very active in his jamming mechanisms, very active defensively. And will help Tanner, I think, a little bit more. Cues, speed, all those things. One-on-ones, he's usually very good. So let's keep that boy healthy. We need him to play these last two games. But you can kind of see, like, you can't just put C&K in the centers anymore. You can't put Kate Well out there. And this is another area I think the club need to go to market now or next year to get an outside back, or specifically a center. Unless you can bank on Ali being fit. MJT's gone. I don't know if we have anything in the development that's worthy of it, but if you can get a solid center option, that would benefit us more than moving a C&K there or a Kate Well. Let's be proactive. From my perspective, the club needs to be proactive in that space. Let me hit the chat. Okay. Mackie's saying the biggest thing was Barry coming back. Yeah, allow Pommy to go back to the strong side. Barry's kick chase. Yeah, bang on. You guys have got it. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Oh, fantastic, man. Fantastic, Licky. It was awesome. Hey, Hunter, man. Hope you've been well. Here's how much different Rocco makes that. Yeah, missed a couple opportunities to set up DOZ, but they will stick in a few weeks. Yeah, his run. I think that one where he bombed it. I'm not sure what happened, but he needed to either release the pass. I think even C&K might have set him up wrong. I can't remember from what my opinion of it was. Yeah, we need him in that finals, man. I think he does. Finds him. He's more of a yeah. I get what you're saying, Radiant. He's more of a director at the runner. That has its benefits too, because it might create something for the next carry. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Yep, agree with this. Bench rotation was good. Yeah, but bench was fantastic. All the rotations at the right times. Well, he's fresh. Let's hope he can hold out. I heard he was only winded at the end there, so if that means he's just finding his feet, he needs to play well in these last two games, man. We need every ounce of him. Yeah, full bill of health, absolutely. Would have thought Alexander never played with the Warriors with yeah. He's always hated us, man. Nothing new there. Mackie, well, maybe that is the plan. I'm looking at a Casey McLean, sorry. And I'm like, man, if we got one of those in development, I'm all for it. But you know what I mean? Like, we need to bring through some more centers. It's not disrespecting Rocco or Pompey, but for me, Rocco and Pompey are just your defensive, sound, structured centers. If you want to out and out strike center, yeah, and you can get a strike center, mate, that for me would be fantastic. You could argue that, Chris. You could argue that. Yeah, I think it's too late. For whatever reason, I don't think Webby's going to bring in anyone else into that top 17. Just don't think he'll do it unless it's super super desperate. But I'm looking for next year and thinking, bro, strike center would be massive. Yeah, a bit awkward, wasn't it? Yep, you got the young guns. Yeah, well, it's true. This is true. I don't, Shane. I don't personally. I don't think he's a strike weapon. But he's a solid center. He might become a strike weapon. Who knows? Okay, for me next week, play the same 17, balance of minutes perfect with all things. So yeah, going into that point, I think we should stick with that rotation now. I'm gonna argue against Webby that when he has a Jackson Ford, he keeps that Jackson Ford on longer. I personally like keeping the rotation shorter, and not having a longer forward, like a forward playing longer minutes. I'll keep that same team and just keep those rotations pretty much similar. Even if you're down, and I know Webby, when you're down by 12, or he usually pushes the starting front rowers out a bit longer. I think let's stick with that same balance, and continue to give EIT, Tennisdale Smith, Dimitri Lecker as well. Give him that rest, get him off the bench. Murata that was one of Murata's best games. And they're far and few between. I'm not saying that he's changed, but he dominated in that game. To be honest, he got it for him quite easily. Foreign was biting hard on him and giving Murata a lot of respect. Scored a great try, but I'd still keep Lick on the bench and keep what we pretty much had there and try and perfect that rotation in preparation for finals. I thought Catewell had a good game too. I like him on that left edge. I'm thinking, let's just roll with this team right now. I don't think anyone's coming back, right? Unless I'm wrong. Barring Ford, which will be what? He's got 3 games off, so he's not going to come back till finals. Let's just see what we can do with the IT. Let's see what we can do with Dimitri, Tennisdale Smith, all those guys, and go from there. That's my view on that. Okay. Surprised Morgan didn't get a shot this season. Yeah, it's just again, I don't think he'll get an opportunity. Do you think we play Bunty's final farewell? So, nah, I'm not about. I'm not about unless you're a Sean Johnson or Simon Menry. And I know there's a stink to Bunty, but unless he's in the plans, but anything farewell based, not when I'm trying to lock in a top 4. That's just me being competitive. I know others would probably want a Bunty to get a spot, but I'm just ruthless like that. I want to I want to win. But if he wasn't the plan, sure, got no issue with that. But for me, I need my dub first. I want to go top 4 because it gives me a chance to skip a week and go to a prelim. That's just my thought, my thought process. Yeah, let's hope so. Hopefully he's freshened up. He's got 2 workhorses. Yeah, well, let Eddie play out those minutes. It might be. I just want to. Webby has depended a lot on Ford to play this like 50, 60-minute role, and it kind of. I don't like his play the ball speed. I don't like. I mean, I love a lot of his work, but it kind of fluctuates a little bit too much for me. I'd rather a solid 20 from Tennis Smith and then get a straight solid 20 from EIT over a 40 of a good but sometimes bad Jackson Ford. That's me personally. I know Webby probably tries to keep some interchanges up his sleeve, but I think especially for these young pups, just let them have their rotation, barring HIAs. Let them have their minutes. Let them work through the problems. If they come in and we're under the pump at that time, let them work through it. But that's my kind of view. Don't mind if Jacko's playing long minutes, but only if he's coming off the bench after this. Yeah, and that's why my argument. I'm trying to push TSS on to everyone else. My thought process why, but his numbers outdo Tennis Smith. He's got a bigger engine for sure, but I'm just thinking in terms of that partnership with Fish and Tanner looked decent enough to get us through against a better pack. It probably won't be, but for what against the Titans, I saw there like let's play Tanner with Fish a little bit more just to get some more data on it, see if it works. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's a bit rude, I suppose. Yeah. Tomato Vaimonga Ford Eddie. So you're pushing Liquor to start, and then you're pushing Marata where? Front row? Okay. Yep. Yep. Yeah. I mean, I thought Marata had a great game. Hey, Sol, man. Good to see you, my brother. Yeah, apparently he's all right, though. Yeah, I agree. Just playing in this, just let them play their rotations out. Putting a contract in Gold Coast might be on the signs. Oh. Our playable speed was slow as this game. It's funny. I thought we were quite up. I thought tempo was quite good. That's interesting that you say playable speed was real slow. Ted, good to see you, man. Yeah, could be. I just want to see some more from it. Look, I thought we were poor against the Dragons, but if that team can perform that against the Eels and Seagulls, man, yeah, that's why I say go for a top 4 and hold it. And if you get lucky, you play a Raiders and you get lucky, then you got a prelim at Mount Smart. You know, harder. He doesn't feel it. Yeah. What's your ideal finish in terms of placing? Who we play week 1, 4th? Yeah, just play the Raiders. That's for me is like, or if it was the Bulldogs, I have a high. I think we could get at the Bulldogs, but Raiders, they'll probably have too much for us right now. But you just get in that mix. You get liquor in there. You have a hard crack at it. You throw it everything at it, man. But that's when the leadership starts to step up. I've been having this chat with Josh, about maybe Fish has just been kind of building up to this. This is a guy that's done it 4 times. He knows what you need to be doing by each phase. I'm just thinking this is where his leadership needs to kick in and prep us for a final series. We've lost a lot of leadership in the Tohu, Sean. So that leadership group need to start really tuning in, honing in on what we're doing. And I'm hoping that's when Fish really starts to kick in the gear. Yep. I can see that, Mackie. Yep. My last TSS in front. Okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yep, yep. I think I'm not sure if the NRL own the rights to all teams. I think they were trying to push for that, so you can't technically can't take a team out from under them. But yeah, it'd be interesting. They're saying Cleary gets rested. Yeah, this for me. I don't think we've got time for rest. I think Egan, he's had his rest through HIAs. Jackson Ford's going to have his rest. Fish has had his rest. Everyone's had a little bit of rest somewhere. I don't really want to rest anyone personally. Club might think otherwise. I want us to play that type of football for the next 2 weeks, so that they feel confident, and I feel confident. We need to power through. That's where I'm at. You might give a few boys some rest that aren't spine players. For me, C&K, Egan, Tanner Boyd, CHT, all those guys got to play through because they got to keep building those combos, build those connections. Keep Tamani at 14, give him minutes too to kind of work through what his role is. All those things. If we want to beat the Eels, we need to close Moses down just like we did. Yeah, again. Yeah, the focus was good, real good. Very, very good. I think so, Sol. I really do think so. Hey, my man. Huge game. Yeah, Moses to be squashed, wishing he doesn't come to Auckland. Let's see. Yeah, Lecker might need some rest. He might need a little bit of rest. Nick Minute. Good little potos there. Maybe. Yeah, it could be a timing thing. I'm just thinking. I know we paid Fish for his production and his work, but there's also a player there that's won 4 premierships. He should know what the key indicators are to making a finals run and coaching those boys like Dimitri, Leka, Tanner Smith, and saying, hey, we need to really sharpen up this week in training. Or I don't know, whatever he knows, share his knowledge and experience with guys so that they know what the requirements are. And I thought they did that on the Titans game. Titans just didn't. They just couldn't deal with it. And maybe and that's where you don't take too much into account against the Titans. Like they might be just on the way out too. So don't be convinced by that. But these games against Eels and Seagulls make it happen. Like you know what I mean? Yeah, consistency. Yeah, Pompey never. Yeah, hey. Yep. Yeah, man. Let's get them, bro. Let's get them. Yeah, good argument. Licker did get his rest. Oh man. I agree. It's a massive game. Massive game this Friday. Very massive game. Fishington looked yeah, again, I just like the speed of play the ball from Tenstar Smith. I think there's a bit of work for him to do physically to be a bit more dominating, but he's young. But if that's the right partnership for him right now, while Ford's out, I'm thinking so. It's just his movements are pretty swift. His line speed too. He pushes up hard. That's what I saw at least. But yeah. Okay, my last point. And then we'll keep going from there. Is it is in our hands. So we should be pushing for that 4th place spot. My argument is you get as high as you can because you just never know if you come in against a 1v4. And I don't give a crap if teams that people are saying, oh, we don't deserve to be the 4. Even some of our own fan base are saying, We're a crap team. We don't need. We shouldn't. We didn't. Who gives a crap, man? Honestly, I don't care if we're the worst team in the 8 or whatever. If that's what people think, we don't deserve it. Who gives a crap? Go and get in this top 4, and you give a crack against the Raiders or Bulldogs or Storm. I don't care. Give it a hard crack. You just never know what can be done. If you play to your potential, you can win that game, and you skip a week and you go to a prelim. That would be a massive, momentous success for me. Now, if you're off the mark on that game against one of the top 4, that battle hardens you, in my opinion, and it gives you that extra week to go again at home in Mount Smart. And you might come up against the Sharks or Broncos or Roosters or whoever. We've beaten the Sharks quite a bit. We've beaten the Broncos. Roosters, we've had a hit and miss record against them or whoever. Then we can do that at home second week. But first week, give it absolutely everything. That's why we need to win these 2 games. It's in our hands. I just want to see us give it everything possible because we need more consistency. A one-off against our 17th place Titans isn't the signs that we need, although we're winning these games. Let's go and put in for these next 2 and really have a good showing and prepare for that finals. So that's my view on it. It's in our hands. Yeah, that was a tough one. They picked him out. That's fine. I think you just don't let Fox get in good positions, right? I think you try and limit someone by not allowing them to have the space and time to, and all those things. Kerry, man, thank you very much for becoming a member. Appreciate you, Kerry. Thank you very much. Yeah, we should be proud of what we've achieved, and wherever we land, we deserve what we get. Daniel, my man, hope you're well. Yep, absolutely. Any thoughts on signing Eels player Simonson? I don't know Simonson's game too well. But I believe in anyone that comes under Webby's program. They can be trained out of errors. They can be trained out of bad habits. He can instill the confidence in them. Simonson is a talent. Got speed. Definitely think so. Need to act updates on to in case of ruptured ACL. Yeah, that's a tough one. It's a very, very tough one. And that's why I think Chan's even needs to play through and he needs to stay healthy, I suppose. But it is what it is right now. But, injuries are starting to pile up, for sure. Yep. He's a good player, Kiri. He's actually I like him. I think again he would work well. Look, I'll take one. I'll take him. I'll take him as an outside back for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Just remember whatever happens from now in the last 3 years, we've made the top 8 twice. Yeah, man. It has not happened since the early 2000s. As moving towards forward, in my opinion. Yeah. You're bang on there, bro. You're bang on there. He did, Luke. He did. We've done some Rocco talk. Yep, we've talked about that. But that's definitely. Yeah, look. We need to start really looking to the future next year. My opinion. Yeah, the body would just be his injury case. Yeah. It's just that weighing up, like, is our depth ready to come through yet, or Simonson might be an option. It could be, man. I want to get a little bit younger in the outside backs. You know, I go back to that Casey McLean example. A young centre that's come through the grades, been developed well as a class centre. He's already playing Kiwis level, but I'd like to see that type of come through as of next season. We might not be there right then, but there's definitely we need some more support for like a centre needs to be banked. And I know Leia told us he's probably had his injuries. He was going to be that guy, but I'm thinking get one more to just in case those injuries continue. And Rocco Berry right now just can't be relied upon until he can show a clear run of injury freeness. And I'm not saying to get rid of it. I'm just saying Rocco you need a backup for him. So that if he can't play, we've got something ready to go. We can't put CNKs and Cape Wells on the centers anymore. We just can't. Yep. T-Maker, yes, yeah. I think Carly's been ripping up. My thing is, again, the level between Cup and first grade is massive. I just want to see. I want to see these guys. I want to give them opportunity. If we never debuted Manu Vateve, we would never know the beast. The highest Warriors try scorer in history. Te Fusitu'a, Ken Momalo, we would never know. So they need their opportunity. They need their chance to have an opportunity. If they don't get that, we'll never know. So, yeah, maybe Seal Kali comes in next year and he gets his chance and he shines. Or, that's what I'm thinking, especially with Kossi gone and MGT and all those guys. So maybe we are going to push a Kali through next year. Let's wait and see. Laban Demi, TSS, Halasima, EIT, all getting quality game time, which will be, massive success. When you tie all the youth we've developed, I remember going back to 24, me and Ash were kind of like dying for, or I was personally dying for them to come in then. But with hindsight and Webby's understanding, like to debut them this year, and look, I know people are asking for a Bunty in there, but Webby's clearly said, look, I'm going for youth in this department. Tom Ali, I'm not sure what the future holds for him either. So Webby said, no, Ali and Bunty aren't on the cards anymore. I'm moving in a new direction. I'm going to a youth in an EIT, TSS, Dimitri Galeka, Laban. So 5 of the best forwards we've got currently coming through the system. So that's massive once you add that in. Yep. Totally agree. I don't. Yeah, Nelson's a tough one. I don't think the club are going in that direction. Again, I think we would do well with Nelson, but I think we're going in a small ball type way, Like even our bigger guys aren't too big, you know what I mean? I think Dimitri has trimmed down heaps. Even he was looking like a monster before, but Brian Kelly could do well, man. I really do think he could do well. Again, like I believe if you got a bit of talent, we could train the errors out of you. You can fix your game. You'll get your game in line with what we need to do. You guys have got a lot of options there. I saw a highlight reel TikTok of this guy Toby Crosby. He looked like a beast. Yeah, I think Toby's still young in his development. I'm not sure who I heard, but you know, he's a guy that just I don't think we should rush to pull the pin on him. I think he's got a lot of things to work on in his game. But he's a talent for sure, man. Definitely. Again, once you get to that first grade level, you start to realize your engine, your motor, it starts to change things a lot. But I think he's good. I think he's a good player. I just think he needs more time to develop. Yeah, backline depth. That's all we need to be. Yeah, Hazen would be good addition. Yeah, that's I forgot about that kid, the winger from. Is that the winger from the Rabbitohs that came through? So there's another. I think maybe we're not going to the market for a winger. I just think for an out and out center, we should definitely try and push for something. Okay, guys, in 10 minutes, going to shut this down, but appreciate everyone so far. It's been real cool. Thanks to the super chat and the new members. 100 of you guys in here. Sorry, I haven't been following up on the likes. Can we get to 80 likes or whatever it is right now? Can we get up to 50 and then go to 80 and then go to 100? If you just pause just for a little bit or just click down that like button, please. And I think I said I was 40 away from 3K. If we get to 3K either today or tomorrow, I'll give out some free memberships so people can join these chats through the rest of the season, pretty much. Yeah, the levels are just a mark above. Yeah, that might be the depth chart coming through. Tom Harley going to the pen? Is that true, Kurt? I didn't realize that one. Sheesh. Oh, it's fantastic, man. Welcome in, Randall. Yeah, might have been the end. Yeah, forward, we've got a lot of forward depth right now. Yeah, we're looking good, man. We are looking real good. Yeah, pop those likes up. People are really good. Anyone watch the girls' game? Just trying tying a bit of girls' stuff. I thought it was real good, man. I thought the girls fighting hard. I was actually supposed to go out because I was in here in Hamilton, but Fano's been a bit sick. They were sick yesterday. I was like, nah, I better just stay home. So I watched the game. 5,000 or nearly 6,000 again. Massive for a standalone crowd. Hamilton is turning out, man. So that's so cool to see. Um, I thought the girls fought hard, man. I think Ron is doing with those girls, especially that 4 pack. They're really shaping up. I wish they could get a 6th spot. I just know it's going to be a little bit tough, but man, I hope they can make the finals. It would be great to make the finals. But I just like what they're doing, man. I really got a lot of respect for all those girls. They fight hard, man. Peyton is a beast, isn't she? 11 tries. That I think when we did the meet and greet, she was on 4. So like in less than 4 or 5 weeks, she's got up to 11, which is crazy. She's just a great finisher, man. She's a great winger actually. And the other Wettere girl, she's fantastic too. But that 4 pack that he's got going there off the bench, Harata and actually Matapo using her a bit more. Ivana Lauatiti, she's the outside backs have done well, especially with the Kinasio and Matakino Gray out. And I just saw they signed a girl from Queensland somewhere to cover technically for Michaela. So she's going to fill Michaela's spot, I suppose, in terms of roster. Tyra's doing a great job out there. Patricia's doing a lot of work. I think she's going to be carrying the team in attack. I think Emily going down with the ACL was huge too. But man, really impressed with those girls. The fact that what we're doing right now is awesome. Yeah. Man, NPC, yeah, that's how far NPC's fallen off, or how much the Warriors WAHine have grown. Hey, see you, Chris, man. Catch you later, brother. Yeah, they're doing fantastic. Butler's she's really picked up. I thought she was a bit unfit to start the season. She probably was. But her Yada just picked up, especially off the bench. She's playing a really good role, empowering through the middle. Kerry, this is a great point, man. We do need more firepower, and that's for me is the difference between our centers and Katoni Stags or Farnworth that level. You need some strike. If you can get some more strike, that keeps every channel committed, and it starts to open up for the halves, starts to open up for the back rowers. The 69th, yes, up and down 69. as they call it in bingo. I'm not sure. She got, I think she got 3 weeks, maybe 2 weeks. Ikanasio got 3 weeks or 2 weeks too. So they'll be back maybe by the Broncos game. I'm gonna go to the Broncos game, which is the last home game here in Hamilton. We're probably gonna get pumped, but I just want to be out there. The energy's mean, from what I've seen. Shout out to Waikato and Hamilton, man. All the rugby league hard. Been getting out to the games, providing that atmosphere for the girls. It's so cool to see. But I'll definitely be going to that. Not sure about contracts, but a couple of Hackney rugby players not at the WWR. Yeah, Kelsey Tinnity and Mirerangi Paul. Bro, you sound like you know who you're talking about, man. I'm sure Ron. I think they need to get another wave of girls out there. If the club can back Ron, I think he can cook this fella. He's turned rugby local talent into like legit solid, not premier in NRLW, but like very very solid. You know what I mean? So yeah. Yeah, man, maybe. Yeah, I mean, he's look. You just want that transition from cup to first grade. I think Webby's got a good handle on it. So who knows? Next year we might see that transition. I know this is probably a bit negative, but and I know Liquor will probably fill one of the voids. But I know a lot of you guys haven't said we don't need forwards, but I still see back row as a position we could strengthen. I think Marata and Kate will obviously are on their last maybe 1 or 2 years. I mean, Marata for me, promotion, push him inside or to the bench. Liquor's one of those strike. Laban, I'm still unsure. But another, you probably want to strike back rower too. You know, like that's something to think about. Would love if we came across a back rower that wanted to come home that was just dangerous. You know, I think we'll go with the back rowers we've got right now. And there's probably some in development, but would really love a punching through the line, deadly back rower as well if there was money for it. Yeah. Liquor Laban, Eddie. Yeah, I just not sure. Again, I'll wait to see, but I think, man, like I know these are the premier level ones, the Ali Katoas and the Nikoras and that. I just love a hard running lines type, like a really fast leg speed, up tempo type back rower. Liquor's that kind of. He's kind of that. He's going to build into that for sure. But I'm just even thinking on the right side. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wanting too much, and maybe I need to trust in the system, man. Yeah, let's all come over here. He's too happy right now, I bet you. But guys, a little bit more drink left. Thank you very much for this evening. Yeah, thanks, Carl. The assignment did get done. I'll be good. Come this week, man. We'll hit again tomorrow night with Ash. We'll break down that team list for you guys for the Eels. Can't believe there's only 2 weeks left, man. We're really I'm excited for finals. It's my favorite time of year, especially when the Warriors are playing in it. Can't wait. But thanks massively to everyone tonight. Just want to shout out Tans reactivating. Kerry, welcome in, man. Really appreciate your comments too. And Tony Dubb, man, as always, with the $10 super chat. We appreciate that, man. Thank you very much for everything. And appreciate specifically everyone's involvement in the chat. I thought it was real cool tonight. Averaged about 90 people and 99. Thank you, everyone watching. Again, if we get to 3K this week, I'll give out some free memberships. And come and join the conversation on Monday nights. But great win for the boys. Very positive signs. Let's back this up against the Eels. We'll talk more about that tomorrow night with my man Ash. Thank you guys for your time, your wonderful time. I do appreciate it. We'll catch you later. I'll get some rest now. Get ready for tomorrow's night. And have a great night. Up the WAHines as always. Stay safe. Peace out.